Hey, what's up? Welcome to episode 8 of the Business Insurance Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Trey Shields, joined always by Micah Salas.
What's up, everybody?
And the mission of this podcast is simple. We are here to simplify business insurance and risk management concepts so you can make more informed decisions.
Is that possible?
It is possible. It is possible. Well, if it's not, we're in a world of trouble on this podcast. But episode 8 today is the only reason you should ever quote your insurance with multiple agents. And before we dive into this, I just want to preface this and lay some context out. We do not think quoting with multiple agents is a good idea, comma, ... But there are 2 tiny exceptions, which we will get into today. Micah, why don't you lead us off?
There's always some exceptions to every rule, right?
True.
So the only reasons you should ever quote with your insurance, let me start with just real quickly, the reasons you should never quote with multiple agents. Because you're unhappy with service, find a new agent, hire an agent. Renewal process sucked, find a new agent, hire an agent. So the 2 reasons are this. You have a direct writer. What is a direct writer? That's a marketing representative for an insurance company who sells directly to you, the business owner, our audience. Okay. They don't go through agents or middle people. There's not a whole lot of these companies out there. Maybe I could count on one hand, possibly, for each industry. So if that's the situation, take their call, meet with them, hear what they have to say, and get a quote, right? I mean, why not? The second reason is if there's an agent that has a market your current agent doesn't have access to. They don't have a contract with them. Okay, this does happen sometimes. You're probably thinking now, so how do I know that? Well, ask your agent, what markets do you have access to? I would even have just a candid conversation. Some other agent came in here and he said he has some secret exclusive market. I hear this all the time. A lot of times it's not true. So ask this other agent who's talking to you, what markets do you have? What markets do you think would be good for my business? Tell them to send them to you, and then go to your current agent. Just be open with them and say, hey, this guy stopped by. He said he has these 2 or 3 markets that you don't have. Is this true? And see what your guy says. And you'll know he's lying if comes renewal time and he doesn't go to those markets. Well, now you just know that he's lying, and now you fire him and hire another agent. So it's pretty simple, Trey.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Insurance doesn't have to be complicated. Now, obviously, this does require, effort on your part. Part of having and hiring an agent, having an exclusive partner, not just quoting it out every year is, there is some work involved. You are going to have to understand what markets, want to write your type of risk. You're going to have to do your due diligence as far as hearing out other brokers, even if you have a guy that you really like and you think does a great job every couple of years, see what else is out there. So, there is some work involved. It's not just, you let your agent do everything and you just leave it all alone. Obviously, you got to have an understanding of how this works, which is why this podcast comes in, so that we can give you just enough to be dangerous and make good decisions. Again, it's not a good idea to quote just because of a myriad of reasons, because you don't like your agent, because you want to see if you can get a better price. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, there's a direct writer involved, like Micah said, or number 2, there's an agent that has access to a market that your incumbent agent, which means your current agent, does not. And that's really the only 2 reasons. Anything else you want to touch on?
Doesn't get any simpler than that, Trey.
I agree. So with that, we will wrap it up. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Business Insurance Made Easy podcast. If you liked what we had to say, or even if you didn't, but you're just feeling generous today, please head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode.
Adios.